some people may not know what a GMO is. GMO is, it's kind of like where they crossbreed, say, a donkey, a donkey and a horse and make a mule. But it's not the same because what they'll take, they'll splice the genes to make it have better nutrition for the food, other things like that. So that's pretty much what a GMO is. I'll get more in depth in that as I go on. So some of the purposes of creating a GMO is to create the drought, to increase the drought resistance, because most crops and stuff, they'll die throughout drought. So they'll increase it. Another one is to withstand in transportation, withstand bruises, because the first genetically modified organism was a tomato, and that was quite a few years ago. And what happened was, while they were transportating it, it would always get bumped around while they're moving. So they wanted to genetically modify it to make the skin tougher and thicker. So that's one of the things that they genetically modified it. So that's kind of what happens when you genetically modify it. That's one reason. Also, to increase nutritional value, to give, like, say they take a tomato and they need calcium from, say, milk or other food products like peanuts or from protein, and they'll take out a gene from that, they'll take it out from the tomato and take out a gene from the tomato and put in a different gene from a peanut to make it have protein. They can add true nutrients to the food that the food never had. But one of the bad things that GMOs can do is you can have allergic reaction. So they take the protein from the peanut, like I said earlier, and they put it into the tomato. Well, then what will happen is if certain somebody eats the tomato, the product that they bought, the GMO, and it had the protein of a peanut, and they were allergic to peanuts, that they will have an allergic reaction. They didn't even know. And adverse results in experiments, it's another thing. They tested GMOs on, like, rats, and their organs started breaking down and just stopped working at a certain point. So the rats died. It's possibly one of the things that could happen if you eat one. It takes time, but it's something that could happen. As I said before, crossbreeding, not genetically modifying. Crossbreeding, one of the things that crossbreeding does is you have the mule, but the mule, it can't have mule babies. I'm not sure if it can even reproduce, but all I know is that it can't have mule babies. So it's the same thing with a fruit or a vegetable or a crop. They cut it in half. They cut the crop in half, and then they take another crop and cut it in half, and then they put them together, and they grow together. And say they take a really sour apple, and then they take a really sweet apple. Well, some people don't really like the really sweet apple because it's too sweet. Some people really don't like the sour apple because it's too sour. So they'll crossbreed it to make a whole new apple that's really good. But that whole new perfect apple can't have the seeds that it has, can't have whole new perfect apples, yeah. So that goes on. A lot of countries do not approve of GMOs. Actually, there's over 30 countries in Europe, or there's over 30 countries in the world that don't. But most of Europe doesn't have it. The only country that I heard was Germany, and when Germany doesn't crossbreed, but when Germany has GMOs, they have to completely destroy the plant before pollination, so it doesn't pollinate and get to other countries. So they have to completely destroy it after they get the produce. So this is a picture of genetically modifying. Say this is just an organic tomato. Say this isn't actually what it is, but say this is the protein of peanut. As I said, it can give you allergic reactions. I'm not sure if this one right here is real. It seems kind of like an outrageous GMO, but you might see them at stores where they take a pear and an apple and they genetically modify it, so it's a pear and an apple. Did you get it? Yeah.
Or
So yeah, that's what GMOs are all about. All the articles I've really read, they've all said the same. Almost all of them have said the same thing. To just completely just go organic, because it's just the easiest way. Because here I'll read you what organic means. So organic foods are foods that are produced using methods that do not involve modern synthetic inputs, such as synthetic pesticides and chemical fertilizers. Do not contain genetically modified organisms and are not processed using irradiation, industrial solvents, or chemical food additives. So I found another picture of the difference between organic and GMOs. Yeah, big difference. One of the things that I read is that GMOs they don't do this. They might have organic labels, but they don't have genetically modified labels. They'll have it in fruits. In the U.S., that's one of the problems that we have here, is that presidents, they don't find the need to put down if your fruit is genetically modified. But has anybody ever seen, say they have an apple and they have a little tag? They have a number on the tag. It's like a 5-digit number. I might get this incorrect because I didn't write it down. I didn't think about it. But I know this for sure. If it's 5 digits and you look it up online, it's a GMO. 5 digits GMO, 4 digits maybe organic, 3 digits is something else. I'm not sure. You'll have to look into that. But yeah. See if I'm missing anything. Yeah. They are interesting, different, very different. You just gotta get more in depth with your foods. Yeah. So that was probably my purpose of making this PPL, doing it on GMOs, is to boost everybody's health. Like our family, after my mom figured what GMOs were, we just completely cut down. One of the things that you cannot find as a GMO is, or you cannot find non-genetically modified, is a wheat. Wheat, they've modified it so much that you probably can't find like old wheat where it's just regular. It's probably nearly impossible. I've not read any articles that they still have it. So that's one of the biggest. That's another big problem by bibliography. OSU.edu, non-GMOproject.org, Dr. Oz, Blogspot, Politics, Softplay, 123rf.com, and Wikipedia.com. Any questions or comments? Dominic?
So like you said, like the apple, like you mix it with something else, like the sweet and sour apple. Does it even have seeds, or?
Yeah, they still have seeds.
Okay. Here you go. What do the seeds make if you plant them?
I am unsure. I didn't look into that. Cody?
What do you think? The first one was, I'm just gonna say that, he's gonna ask, I think he makes a red apple and green apple, will make it'll make like 2 of them combined, but that one, if you plant seeds, then.
Yeah. If you plant the seeds, I'm not not sure if it'll even grow. Jan?
I don't know. I'm just gonna ask for GMOs definitely.
At an extent, because the FDA did approve them, but some people believe it just depends on your opinion. Really, some people believe that they are, some people not so much. It all just depends on your opinion.
Why do they do the GMOs? Why do they do that if they know that it stuff grows and stuff?
Well, as I said before, it just makes it have better nutrition. It makes it the skin's tougher so that it won't be all bruised. Oh, two other things that they make with GMO is they'll genetically modify to put some kind of pesticide in it so that it won't attract bugs without using actual the actual pesticides. They'll actually genetically modify it so it doesn't attract bugs. And another one is so that say this tomato, it would probably spoil on day 15. This one will probably spoil on day 30. That's another reason. Tristan?
So how outrageous can this go?